All right, guys, so today we're going to start off by talking about blood pressure medicine. A lot of you, millions, tens of millions of you are taking blood pressure medicine. There's many different types. I'm going to talk about one specific one that, in my opinion, is the worst one you could possibly take, and it's probably one of the most commonly prescribed medicines, and that is the calcium channel blocker. I've had some personal dealings with this. This thing will kick the crap out of you every time. So there's a bunch of different names that these drugs are classified under this calcium channel blocker. And just a quick rundown. And a lot of you, if you're watching this video, you have hypertension or high blood pressure, or you have had in the past, and you're looking how to get off of this. So we'll also talk about that at the very end here. The main one we're talking about is amlodipine. So I've taken amlodipine for, I would say probably, I think I did 3 weeks on that. It took me about 3 months to get over that. That was a wicked medicine. Did it help my blood pressure? Ever so slightly, kind of, maybe. This is also one of the strongest type of blood pressure medicines you could take. This is also sold under olmesartan, amlodipine, telmisartan. This is hard saying these names. It's some made up nonsense, right? Some guy in the lab made these names up for this medicine, just the way it is. And let me see, olmesartan, telmisartan, valsartan, angiotensin 2. Those are just a few of the names. There's many other stuff. Hydrochlorothiazide is also in this class. So if you go to your doctor, you have blood pressure, they're probably going to start you with lisinopril, which probably won't work. They're going to crank the dose up, which probably won't work. It's going to make you severely tired. And some people could take this stuff. There's some people have a high tolerance to drugs, and they can actually take this stuff and function. Most of us cannot. This stuff will make you a zombie. That's 100%. How do you know, Nathan? You say, how do you know? You're not a doctor. I've taken all of it. I've taken every class and multiples in every class of this medicine since 2018. We're now off all this stuff. We'll tell you towards the end here how we did that. And that's still ongoing, trying to better that situation for me and all the rest of you guys and girls on here so you don't have to suffer through these drugs. So my first brushing with amlodipine was about, I would say about 2019 to 2020. And I was diagnosed with high blood pressure in 2018. And it's been an ugly, brutal ride since then. Mine is a little bit different. Mine is not really a diet-based situation. It's more hereditary. I have cousins that have this exact same thing, an untreatable type blood pressure, which is becoming more and more common. So I've been to 6 to 7, maybe even 8 different doctors since then, cardiologists, DOs, MDs, nurse practitioners, the whole works. And I started taking amlodipine, I think it was around 2019. I don't know the exact date. I don't know how I can even look that up. And that stuff, essentially, within about the first week, none of this will affect you the first 5 or 7 days. It takes a little bit for your body to get saturated with it. You'll notice, like, man, I can't really get up. And then with amlodipine, as soon as I started walking around very much, my legs would swell up. And when I asked the doctor about it, oh, that's got to be something else. It can't be the medicine, right? It never is the medicine. I said, okay, well, I think I was 43 years old at that exact point in time. And I said, well, okay, let's run the math. Coming back to my car background, I've not had my legs or feet swell up in 43 years. A short few days after taking amlodipine, my feet ballooned up and turned purple. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm pretty damn sure you can rely that that's the medicine you're taking, you never taken before, is causing that issue, right? Apparently I was an asshole for saying that. The doctor didn't like that. I don't care. Anyhow, from that point, they put me on a different medicine, right? Under my demand, as I'm not taking this anymore, let's take a different medicine. So we did. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. It took around 2.5 to 3 months for those symptoms to go away. It was that intrusive on your body. Amlodipine other issues were other joints and things start hurting, right? And we'll talk about that too. That's a common issue with a lot of blood pressure medications, right? And in case you're wondering, well, I'm not taking amlodipine, I'm taking something else. So there's many classes of blood pressure medicines. And adrenergic blockers is one of them. Calcium channel blockers is another one, right? Diuretics with eventually P, that's another one. And there's a little conflicting information. It says hydrochlorothiazide is a calcium channel blocker, but on here it says it's also a diuretic, right? So it kind of has a little both in it. And that's a very common one. Now, chlorothiazide, I just got into taking that this past month. That was my last one I've taken. And that was no different. Legs didn't swell up, but man, I literally felt like I was gonna die. But it wasn't the medicine, right? That's what they always say. Beta blockers, alpha 2 receptor, combined alpha and beta blockers, direct renin inhibitors, central agonists, this is where it gets hard to pronounce this stuff. Like I said, there's some dude in the lab making names up. It's bits and pieces of different things it does. They put together for the name of the drug. Ferrical adrenergic blockers, and then last we have vasodilators, right? Dilate the blood vessels, I'm guessing, just by the name of it, right? We haven't studied those yet. I've taken pretty much all those, taken 14 or I think maybe 15 different drugs. Just a general memory of that. Let's get back to amlodipine. We printed off from WebMD a list of things it'll do to you. Not things it might do to you. Some of these it will do to you. Some of these it won't. Some of these will do to me, but not you, and so forth. That's the way it works, right? So, a lot of these are listed as more common, less common, or rare side effects. Who wrote this list? Somebody that's never taken the drug. This is done off studies, a small amount of studies, right? They generate this list of what it might do to you, what's the most common thing they saw in their small amount of studies. And usually when they do any kind of research, they have about 1,000 participants in doing drug research. That's kind of a general, it could be way more, it could be way less. Depends on what the government wants, what the FDA wants for all that stuff. So they start off with just more common side effects. Swelling of the ankles or feet. Obviously, right? That's the most common one you have. My uncle, which also they just prescribed and taken this at 80 years old. Your average dose of amlodipine is 25 milligrams. They give him 75 milligrams right out of the gate. You know what that did to him? Made his ankles, feet, back, all that stuff puff up and hurt, joint hurt, barely get out of the chair. And when you're older, that affects your walking. When you have extremity swelling and issues like that. In fact, when he called and told me my legs are swelling up, I said, go get your medicine. What are you taking? And amlodipine was on the list, right? So they took him off of that. No, he's still on a variant of that. Instead of taking him off that class of drugs, they went from amlodipine. I don't have written down what he's taking right now, but it's a variant of the same drug. I believe it's going to do the same thing, right? The same thing with a different name with slight changes to it. Anyhow, swelling of the ankles and feet is your more common. Your less common is chest tightness, difficult or labored breathing. I've experienced that. And these side effects are most blood pressure medicines. Most. Dizziness, fast irregular pounding, racing heartbeat or pulse. I've had that. When I was taking amlodipine, my average pulse was 101. Right now, it's in the high 60s. You know? Feeling of warmth, I did not have that. Feeling a cold. Redness of the face, neck, arms, occasionally upper chest. I did not have that. And they have these classed as rare. That means that they think you're not going to get these. That means the small test they did not come back to people that not have these side effects, right? Black and tarry stools, crap and black, bleeding gums. I've not had any of that. I didn't take it long enough to probably get that. A lot of these you will not get right away taking these meds. It'll take a little while. It might take a week, a month. It might take a year or two for you finally get enough of that crap in your system where you start having this. And the longer you take these medicines, the harder it is to get off of them. Do not, if you're taking this, do not stop taking this immediately. You have to look up, there's a whole sequence to get off this. You cannot stop, you will not live to tell about it if you just stop taking your blood pressure medicine. It'll falsely inflate all your numbers through the roof once you go in withdrawals from these medicines. You have to get off it the correct way. Do not stop taking these medicines immediately. Do not. Blistering or peeling or loosening the skin. That sounds fun. Blood and urine and stool. Blurred vision. So blurred vision, I thought a month ago I was going to have to get glasses. I was like, man, I can't really see. I'm getting old. Vision's blurry. You see everybody older with glasses. Okay. How many of those people need glasses, especially in their 40s? How many of them is taking this stuff, messing their vision up? Probably quite a bit, right? The biggest thing I noticed getting off blood pressure medicine, my vision came back tenfold. It went from blurry, squinting and look at stuff, just hazy. It looked like you're looking through a video at 120p instead of 4K, right? It looks like that. It took 3 days after I stopped taking those blood pressure meds for everything. It clipped back and now everything's vivid and clear, right? Burning, crawling, itching, numbness, prickles, pins, and needles of the skin, chest pain or discomfort, chills. Did still have that to where I don't really feel the heat anymore when you go outside. My whole life I was always hot-blooded. After taking these medicines, I go outside, it's 90 degrees outside right now with high humidity. It's just kind of warm, but it's not making me sweat. It's not affecting me, which may be good. Probably not. Will that go away eventually? Probably. Cold and clammy skin, cold sweats, confusion. Confusion is another one to talk about. Every one of these medicines you take, no matter what class it is, will give you confusion. The inability to think. Since 2018, my inability to think has been impaired. You notice if you watch this channel before, the past year, since 2015, about some really good videos that you really had to use your brain to produce and put out. There's some very complex stuff with BMW and Porsche and all this other stuff. But the last few years, I haven't posted much. It's been very difficult to think. Been very, just kind of sit at the computer and just kind of zone out, like your brain just shuts off. Which is also the same side effect you get with Benadryl, right? Confusion, cough. And a lot of people do not give me a cough. Lisinopril gives you the dry cough, in my past experience. Dark yellow urine, that's a given. You're gonna pee the darkest orange urine you could ever imagine on this stuff. Diarrhea. My stomach has been so messed up the last years, I actually had to get on a probiotic, a very expensive probiotic that was costing me basically $40+ a month, just to be able to function normally in society. I don't take that anymore. I rarely ever take that. I'm down to once every 3 or 4 days on that. It makes no difference. Dilated neck veins. I've seen that in the past, all the veins in my head poking out. Dizziness or lightheadedness when getting up from lying or sitting. If you take this stuff, you're gonna have dizziness or slightly out of balance 100% of the time. Taking any of this stuff, and we were building my shop through all this, I did not trust myself on a roof. I was on the ground, you're kind of okay. You find yourself closing one eye and trying to walk and steady yourself. What my girlfriend called it was a gait problem. It wasn't to the dizziness or you're spinning out. You're just slightly off balance. If you're older, that will make you fall and get hurt. All of these do that. All of these do that. That will, at some degree or another, at some point in time, they will get you with that. Let's see here. Joint or muscle pain. Oh yeah. And also muscle weakness is another one. I've had a lot of that. When I don't take anything, I have a lot more strength. My joints don't hurt. If I go out and use my arms doing something in the shop, I come back, my joints are all, feels like they're rusty. All that's gone. Large hive-like swelling on the face, eyelids, or tongue. That sounds fun. Have not had that. Numbness tingling in the face or fingers or toes. Not had that. Probably depends on your circulation to start before you started taking this. Pain in the arms or legs, lower back, yes. Especially pains in the calves or heels. So when you try to walk on this, you're taking this stuff, your muscles just kind of are spasming at that point. And when I was taking this, I would try to do something, I have to go sit down quickly. Pinpoint red or purple spots on skin, red irritated eyes. I've always had that. Now that I think about it, I don't have to use eye drops or anything anymore. So yeah. Redness of the face, arms, or neck. I've always had that a little bit, especially get out in the sun. Also, what this is not said on here yet is sensitivity to sunlight. You cannot be in the sun at all with these medications. You will get burnt in minutes, no matter what you do. Let me see here. Shakiness of the arms, legs, or hands. I noticed this a few months ago, taking other medicines, doing some gold leaf in the house. You have to be real still. I couldn't hold my hands still. It's very minor, but that's definitely something going on. Slower regular heartbeat. I've seen my heartbeat down to 50. Taking some of these medicines, sore throat, sores, well, it's getting to be, the list is, there's 4 pages here. We're on page 2. Right? Swollen glands, shaking. I'll read them real quick. Unsteadiness, awkwardness, usual bleeding or bruising, usual tiredness or weakness, weak or absent pulse in the legs, weakness in arms, hands, or legs, what I was just talking about, muscle weakness, weight gain. Yes, weight gain's a thing with pretty much all these. When you go to the doctor, like, oh, you got to lose some weight. Well, if you guys watching the videos last year, I was pretty skinny. I was down to 223, and I just weighed while it goes at 236, I believe. The doctor, lose some weight. Well, it's hard to lose weight when you're on a medicine that makes you gain weight, right? That makes you inactive. Clay-colored stools, that sounds fun. Difficulty with speaking. I've actually had some of that. Let's ask my girlfriend about that, actually. Drooling? Nope. Headache, loss of appetite, loss of balance control. I was actually more hungry on these medicines than anything else. Nausea, rash, shuffling, walking, stomach pain, always stomach pain. You take this crap, always stomach pain. Twisting movements of the body. I'm not sure what that even means. Unpleasant breath, brush your teeth, blood, vomiting of blood. Have not had that. And yellow eyes or skin. My eyes do look yellow for whatever reason, I think. Acid in your stomach. Been on Prilosec forever. I have not had to take that in a while. Belching, feeling of warmth, heartburn, indigestion, lack of strength. Redness, these are less common. Sleeplessness, or unusual drowsiness, stomach discomfort, upset, or pain. And the rare is abnormal dreams, anxiety. Back pain. Talking about Uncle Don having back pain. Bad, unusual, unpleasant aftertaste. Bleeding gums, blistering, crusting, irritation, itching, or reddening of skin, bloating, bloody nose, burning feeling. It goes on and on and on and on pretty much forever. I'm just clipping through here because it's getting to be drawn out. There's also at the very end, the disclaimer is side effects not mentioned. Other side effects not mentioned. Check with your healthcare professional. Call your doctor, medical service, or their FDA at 1-800-FDA-1088. What an absolute joke that would be to call that number and try to bitch about that. All right. So anyhow, the usual dose of these medicines are 25 milligrams. And that's kind of the common. Some may be a little more. Certain medicines, you have to take a lot more to get any effect. Right now, we're still taking the fish oil. Just very basic fish oil. A lot of people are telling me, go get crazy good fish oil. Some of that stuff you have to refrigerate. We may change up and let you guys know how that turns out. If we do change up to something higher quality, I will, not if. I will. And we'll be continuing to study any other progress that's been made research-wise. A lot of the people have some very good details to offer on other things to add to the fish oil to make sure you never have to take blood pressure medicine ever again. Let's recap. Do not stop taking your blood pressure medicine all at once. You will not live to tell about it, period. There is a sequence to get off every medication. You go to Google, you look up, you type in whatever, amlodipine. How do I get off amlodipine? It'll give you like a 3-week plan to get off of that. And my experience before was, if you do that, by the time you get to 3 weeks, you might take a little, like another half a pill over the next 2 weeks after that, just to get off the stuff. If you're taking the fish oil and other stuff, you may be able to get off a lot quicker because you have something to stabilize your blood pressure a little more. A lot of comments on the last video said fish oil does not work. Doctors commenting in there. A lot of doctors in the comments, as we knew there would be. Fish oil does work. You know, I'm 3 weeks into this situation. Blood pressure last night was 135/89. For me, that's really good. Other people reported at 117/76. Everybody's gonna be different. Do not try to force your blood pressure down to 120/80. Not everybody's made to do that. If mine starts getting down in the mid-80s in the bottom, I start getting real tired. A lot of women, a lot of guys even, I know, have super low blood pressure. If you have that, you're not watching this video, obviously. If your bottom number is very low, that could be hereditary defect. Your bottom number is in the 60s, right? It could also be onset of some kind of heart valve issue. If it's too low, you go to your doctor. If it's in the 60s, your doctor's gonna say, oh, it's great, it's great. And you're gonna say, but I'm so damn tired. Why am I so tired? Oh no, don't worry about it, it's great. It's not always about making you have the lowest blood pressure you could possibly get. It's just not. You have to split the difference. What blood pressure do you feel good at? At me, I feel the best in the high 80s, low 90s on the bottom number. You know, on the top, 135 to 145 in that range. You know, what was that? 2007, I can't remember the year. I researched a lot before, I can't remember. 2007-ish, they changed the normal blood pressure from 140/90 to 120/80. Why? Because they thought at that point in time that would prevent the chance of a stroke even more. Do I agree with that? No, I don't. Will it make you not have a stroke? I don't know. That'll be another video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you guys. If you're taking a calcium channel blocker, this video is for you. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight. Get on the fish oil. See if it works for you. It's not going to work for everybody, but my God, it seems like it works for most. Go to Walmart, buy it. Put a link in the description. It's going to cost some more on Amazon, but you don't have to leave your house. Take it for what you will. We'll keep doing research. Keep you guys posted. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. We'll see y'all later.